Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley, Dauber, and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. Vols fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
And we got a lot of dudes, man. I mean, a lot of RLDs, real live dudes that are flying around, and we should wreck shop.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait until you see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
Indie Kid.
This is is this the 10,000 subscriber celebration stream, or did you guys have that last night without me? Did you do it without me?
No, we held off, man. We held off.
The celebration is here. I don't even have any plans really for tonight's stream. We're going to hang out. I didn't even tell you guys. Who knows? We may turn this into a fan call-in show. We may give away merchandise. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we are celebrating tonight. Robert Goldison in the house says, "Go Big Orange." Michael Shaw is here requesting to play the thong song on third down. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Wade Rouse in the house. What up, Wade? Tim Bradley was here early, but now he is going to the house of the Lord, as we all should be on this fine Wednesday night. Fish and Beans in the house. Short Fuse is here. Come on in, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Rusty Ribbits says, congratulations on 10,000. This is a celebration stream. Everybody come on in. Like I said, we're going to be giving away some free merchandise. We're going to be having a regular show, talking a little football, and we'll just see where the night takes us. I was talking to my daughter, my youngest daughter, before I came down here to set up the stream. Told her we were having the 10,000 subscriber celebration, and it led to talking about things we should do in the future to celebrate. Do you guys know what the McDonald's challenge is, or the Taco Bell challenge?
No.
Nope.
You guys don't watch enough YouTube. Apparently I watch too much YouTube. So what I was thinking, we watched the national championship game this past summer as a way we could have a live stream, hang out with everybody. Well, the McDonald's challenge means that you got to sit down and eat all of this while we watch the national championship game. That's 4 double cheeseburgers. I don't know how many nuggets those are. 4 large drinks and 2 large fries. All while we watch the national championship game. The Taco Bell challenge, $20. Everybody gets a budget of $20. You go to Taco Bell, you can buy whatever you want, but whatever you buy, you have to consume during the national championship game. The Indie Kid's a bummer. Look at him. Indie Kid's not excited about this challenge. Dauber, I think you would participate. Would you, Don?
I mean, whatever.
Okay, yeah, enough of this. These guys are no fun. I'm sorry, they're no fun. John Hill in the house with a $10 super chat. Thank you, John. We appreciate it. He says, here's $10 for 10,000. Woohoo, go Big Orange. We appreciate that, John. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dauber, tell a Talkin VAWLS story. The path to 10,000 subscribers. We've been through a lot.
Yeah. Man, gosh, put me on the spot here. I know there's some video evidence of me getting a little ticked off at you one night.
That's
and,
if you type Talkin VAWLS into YouTube, it comes up Talkin VAWLS theme song, and Talkin VAWLS Kentucky, because that was the game. That was the one.
That was fun, man. It's the thing about this whole thing. it goes beyond this right here. We're all buddies. We hang out. We'll get frustrated, get mad at each other. The post-game shows, they're intense. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling, but it ends at that because we are friends, we are buddies, and it's just that's what you do with your buds, man.
What's funny is after that Kentucky game, the number of messages I got on Facebook, and it's like it went on for like 2 weeks. We all settled it after we went off air, like in the green room after the show ended. We were all cool and going on with our lives, but it went on for 2 weeks after that. Messages, people saying, you got to apologize and do this. It's like, man,
Dauber has feelings too.
Dauber, yeah. I was the villain that night. It's okay. Zach Cherry in the house becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Zach, for that. We appreciate it. You can also become a member. Just hit that join button down below. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Also, you can join the show if we do a fan call in. But also, it's just a tip in the old tip jar. Look, 10,000 subscribers. Indicate if everybody that's a subscriber became a member of the channel, we'd be pulling in $10,000 a month. We could probably all just quit our jobs and do Talkin VAWLS full time.
That'd be awesome. That's the dream, man. That's the dream.
So
Top content on the net.
Let's kick it back to you, Indy Kid. You go back. We were still just doing the recordings, right? Your first time around, yeah.
Because
we were doing Skype.
I came in the first year we started doing video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were still doing Skype because you and I and Classic and Wade Adams tried out a little wrestling podcast there for a bit. I can't remember what we were calling that. And then it shifted. You, JP, and DA started Talkin VAWLS. And then after a year, you hit me up about coming on. And yeah, we were doing, I think, Sundays? We were doing like a Sunday afternoon recording, 4 or 5 o'clock, because you were still doing Comic Cast at the time as well. So we were hitting up Skype. We would curse Skype a little bit. Probably the one I remember most on there. Yeah, I had a couple old names. What I start off, well, my old social media was Trainwreck of 76 for a long time, and I changed it to kind of my first initial part of last name. And I don't know, Indy Kid fit my lifestyle, what I do. So, but yeah, I remember Shiano Sunday. We were going live, and we were all three livid at Shiano Sunday, and it broke while we were recording that it had gotten overturned. And then, just coming back, you kind of, I don't remember how we kind of got back and forth. I think kind of the Wrestling Council a little bit, and then day after, and then one thing led to another. And, like Dauber said, these, man, the post-game shows are intense because your emotions are fresh when you go on. And, people will be like, well, I don't see why you're so mad or anything. It's because the game just ended. If it's a rough game, you're going on. Emotions have not had time to settle down. So it's a lot of people in the chat are the same way. Think about the guys in the chat, you guys you're upset in the chat. Well, the difference is we're on air upset.
Talking about it.
And it's hard sometimes. I mean, it really is. I mean, especially after a Pitt game where I kind of blew it a little bit, an Ole Miss game where I think Boogie blew it a little bit, or a Georgia game. But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of emotion when you're going live after a big game, especially a close, intense game. And some of those baseball games we did, man, those were fun.
I think that's what makes it.
I wish we could have been live tonight, Drew Gilbert.
Oh no, I was at a K-Mets game, well, Axemen game now when that went on. That's why you did the video by yourself that night. But I think that the live post game, the emotion, that's what makes it fun, man. And yeah, it's hard, it's tough when you're coming on here to really try to put on a show. But at the same time, man, everybody's emotional. But I think that's what makes this channel unique and different. I think everybody in the chat, I think that's why they enjoy it. We try to balance our opinions with their opinions. And You know, I always compare it because Walking Dead's one of my favorite TV shows, even though it sucks now. This last season's awful. I can't even get through it. But it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. And to have this show called Talking Dead after, where they sit down and it's like, man, you get through watching a good TV show. Like you get through imagine 24 back in the day. You get through watching an episode of 24, and then they have a show where they sit down and break down the episode and everybody's a fan. That's what I try to compare this to, and that's what we try to bring to the table. Eric Ash Jones in the house. Eric, I saw a little bit earlier you talking about some free merchandise. We are going to give some free merch away today, so stay tuned for that. That's Troy talking about Yellowstone. I've not watched it yet, but I bought it for myself for Christmas. Yep, I'm not above buying
Hang on,
myself
guys.
Christmas presents.
Did y'all see something just fly over your houses?
Uh-oh.
That's still Drew Gilbert's home run. It hadn't landed yet. It's either Drew Gilbert's or Solaire's home run in the World Series. They intersected each other, still flying out in space.
In orbit.
All right, we got to put on a show. We had to celebrate a little bit, pat ourselves on the back, little humble brag, if you will. Man, I'm proud. Like, I will brag. I'm freaking proud of the work that we put in, the commitment to be here every single post-game show. I'm proud of what we built, whether that be the three of us, JP, Snake, everybody that's been a part of this channel, man. I appreciate everybody's commitment. Caleb Bray for 10. Thank you for the super chat. Caleb throwing a tip in the tip jar. Maybe that's just a thank you, a congratulations. Regardless, we appreciate it. Let's talk a little ball. Let's talk a little shop. I guess I kind of want to start out talking about this coaching carousel, everything going on in college football. It's nuts. I mean, this is the transfer portal is one thing, because we talk about how the transfer portal changing the game of college football. But when this coaching carousel hits with the transfer portal, it is leading to a crazy few weeks coming up here. Lincoln Riley to USC, which opens up the Oklahoma job, Napier to Florida, Brian Kelly to LSU. Who saw that coming? Andy Kid, what are your thoughts on the coaching carousel? And we kind of bleed that into the rumors about Josh Heupel at the end.
Just it's been a weird carousel because I felt that most of the guys linked to these jobs, your Mel Tuckers, even Hugh Freeze, some of these guys all of a sudden come up with these big raises and extensions. Stoops at Kentucky. And so you're like, well, who's going to take these? And then the bigger names are the ones that jump ship. Lincoln Riley to USC. I'll be honest. I think it was a great move on his part because I feel Oklahoma's traditionally up there, top 5, top 10. I don't know that they're getting past that. I really don't. And they don't have that home base to recruit from like USC does. I don't blame him. I think USC job is top notch. I think it's a better job than Oklahoma in the grand scheme of things. Brian Kelly going to LSU, I didn't see that one, but I'll be honest, I don't like the fit for LSU. I don't think that's a home run hire. I think he's an excellent coach. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing against him, but I don't know. I'm curious to see how it works. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it. And maybe he does do well. Maybe he can do more. I mean, he's done fantastic at Notre Dame. But I think he had maybe hit a plateau there as well. Maybe he gets past it at LSU. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. I just don't – I don't know that I like the fit.
Dauber,
and I'm curious to see – well, it'll lead into it with some other stuff as well. But Florida with Napier didn't touch upon that one.
He doesn't.
I don't know. I keep seeing.
He looks like he's going to, spend the afternoon on his boat or something. Man, to go from Coach O to Kelly, that's like night and day. Two completely different ideologies, and that Kelly is the type of guy that would turn Will Wade in. Yeah. So I just don't know that he fits at LSU.
Did you see that he only spent 5 minutes? I think it was like 5 minutes with his team at Notre Dame.
Oh, he's ghosting the staff that he left there as well. it's interesting. Going down to Baton Rouge next year will be interesting for this Tennessee team.
Going back to Indy Kid, you talked about Lincoln Riley to USC. I think that's a smart move, man. I think him going to USC, I think he sees an opportunity at USC recruiting on the West Coast to build that team up in a weaker conference versus, all the rumor and speculation was that he was going to LSU. That USC job, man, I think that was a smart move on his part. But let's get into the Josh Heupel rumors and everything going on there. Indy Kid, I saw you had some comments about it. I saw in the comment section you going back and forth about the interview with Eric Ainge. I've actually got the clip of it because I want to play it and I want to talk about it because there's a lot said there that we can kind of discuss and get into. And I've already played this clip on a video I made, but I want to talk about it with you guys. Dauber, while I play this clip, can you switch your microphone? Or are you on the one on your laptop or are you on the other one?
The other one.
Switch it to the laptop. It's still clicking. Switch it to the laptop and do that while this clip plays, and then we'll kind of break this thing down. And again, this was on 99.1 The Sports Animal. Eric Ainge interviewing head coach Josh Heupel.
But like, what's up with the Oklahoma deal, Coach?
Yeah. As you build a successful program with your staff and players, certainly, your name has an opportunity to come up for different openings. For myself and my family, we absolutely love Knoxville, and we came to Tennessee because of the power of the T, believed in the power of the fan base and the opportunity to build something extremely special. It's a program that's top 10 in the history of college football, wins and first-round draft picks, and had been through, some uncertainty in recent times. But we love being in Knoxville. That's home for us. I love being in the building with our staff and our players. And I feel stronger today than I did 10 months ago when I first took the job about what we're going to be able to do and how quickly we're going to be able to get there. I know we're building a championship caliber football team and program, and excited to continue on that venture with our current players and staff.
Now, Indy, do you want me to set you up, loft you a big softball, or do you just want to make your opening comment on that?
Throw me a softball. I'm looking for a bomb tonight. So.
Okay. Well, when that interview came out, the way the media ran with it, and heck, I used it in the video that I made. And my personal opinion is that I don't think Josh Heupel is leaving. And I know not that we disagree, but I'll let you state your opinion. I don't think he's leaving. First and foremost, I don't know that Oklahoma offered him the job. But a lot of the media ran with that story basically saying Josh Heupel confirms that he is staying in Knoxville. And the way I spun it was I said Josh Heupel all but confirms that he's staying in Knoxville. And the reason I worded it that way, because obviously he says a lot of complimentary things about Tennessee. And then at the end there, he talks about building the future with his current coaching staff. But what did Brian Kelly say just within the last week? It's the way they word things. But go ahead and give me your thoughts on that.
He did say later on in it, so he's like, so you're not leaving. He just kind of, yeah. And then it was just that it wasn't a, or they may have said, so you're staying. And it was just kind of, yeah. And then he just kind of went on. And he didn't say, yes, we're definitely staying or nothing. He didn't sell me on it. He didn't. And I don't know that he leaves either, but that interview did not sell me that guy is definitely staying. It was speak. You have to watch what you're saying. And I know what he said. I don't trust any coach. Every coach that coaches football is a liar. Just think to the Josh Heupel injury reports this year. If you want proof if Heupel stretched the truth a little bit or not. But I'm with you. I don't know that they get – I keep seeing Brent Venables and Shane Beamer for Oklahoma. That's the two guys I'm seeing on it. But I'll be honest, there's that part of me, and maybe that's the battered Vols syndrome on it, that's not going to – when Oklahoma has a coach not named Josh Heupel, I'll feel comfortable with it. And that's just, again, I know he kept selling Tennessee, he talked good about it. He still didn't, he just was not.
He didn't just come out and say, I'm not going to Oklahoma.
No, he was smart with what he said. I mean, he said all the right things, and, you know, he kind of manipulated the conversation. And I know people are saying he's the one called Ainge about it. I don't know. I hadn't heard that part of it. Maybe he did, but he didn't convince me on it. But
at the end of the
I hope
day,
he doesn't
though,
go.
it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to make the business decision. And that's, like you said, he was careful in what he said and how he said it, because that's what he's got to do. He's got to watch the words he uses and the phrases he uses. You know, it can be anything from, you know, how many times have we seen other coaches use, specifically Tennessee, Mike Gundy, to get an extension and a raise and all of this stuff. So, you know, all of these things, anytime his name gets thrown out there, linked to a job or whatever, is leverage for him as an individual and his employment at the University of Tennessee. So it's not necessarily that he wants to go somewhere else. It's just financially it benefits him to speak in those generic terms. If there are options for him, it benefits him to not shut the door on those options, so to speak.
So I'll stir the pot here a little bit. I'm going to throw one to you guys, and if you take money out of the equation, all things equal with money and years where they're at, and then, you know, let's look at potential. Let's don't look at where the programs are at now. Oklahoma's going to the SEC. Mass exodus of players right now going to the portal. Mass exodus from the recruiting classes. When you stir up and you look what Heupel has going here in Knoxville with a less than full cupboard, here's where I'm going to stir the pot. Is that Oklahoma job really a better job than Tennessee? All things being equal.
I don't think so, because I think if he went to Oklahoma, he would basically be walking into the same thing he walked into at Tennessee. I think he would be taking a step back, and it kind of blends into something I was going to talk about a little bit later, but it's the perfect time to talk about it. There is a good energy. There is a good positive buzz around Tennessee football right now. And I don't know how this class of 22 is going to play out, but you're talking about the number one quarterback in the class of 24, I think it is, a top rated quarterback in the class of 23, the number one wide receiver in the class of 23, all being on campus visiting. There's momentum on the defensive line and recruiting. The transfer portal, there are some big names in that portal that could end up at Tennessee. I think there is momentum and a positive energy around Tennessee football right now. And if Josh Heupel went to Oklahoma, maybe they would create some excitement there, because, you know, it's his alma mater. And I mean, you might as well say it's like Peyton Manning being the coach at Tennessee. They would be excited about it. But how many of those players, number one, are going to follow Lincoln Riley to USC, and two are just going to hit the road and go elsewhere regardless? Look at the guys from Tennessee that transferred out there. This is basically, all right, this is my second year in a row I'm losing a freaking coach. How many of those guys are going to check out? You've already had, I think, 2 wide receivers and a quarterback into the transfer portal already. That's just the beginning. It's only going to get worse.
And I've seen a lot of the recruits reopen their or decommit and reopen their recruitment. So that's another aspect of it.
I agree with that comment from Wayne Starnes. I think Riley wanted out of the SEC, wanted to go to USC, easier competition, and a good recruiting base. I really think he ran from the SEC.
Yeah. Well, you look at USC right now, too. Nobody is dominating the Pac-12. I mean, Oregon has had their chance, and they're kind of the top team right now. They're recruiting California pretty well. You get the right guy in, and it looks like Riley is already had The quarterback he had committed for 23, who was the number one quarterback, is already decommitted from Oklahoma and committed to USC. He's going to rack up out at USC. He's going to clean up out in California. It's just coming. And like you said, the competition in the Pac-12 is not near what the SEC is. He'll have USC perennial playoff contender within the next couple of years.
Let me get caught up on super chats real quick. Good conversation. This is why when I asked you guys, should we keep going live? Any kids like, yeah, there's gonna be plenty to talk about. Let's just keep going live on Wednesdays. It's almost kind of fun to just get to talk about college football in general and not just focus on a post game show or what's going on with Tennessee. Buck Buchanan for $10. We appreciate the super chat. Says Coach Josh Heupel is no doubt the man, but is he that guy to have Tennessee competing for national titles again, or a mere stepping stone on the path to becoming a dynasty again? Congrats on 10K, guys. Thank you, Buck. We appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chat. That's an interesting comment, because for me, I've told multiple people, I've got so many texts and DMs this week saying, is Josh Heupel leaving? And the one thing I sent back is, I didn't say yes or no. I just said, if he leaves, this program is dead for a long time. This would set the program back so far, just like Lane Kiffin, and it's just more icing on the cake. I don't know that Josh Heupel is the guy. I think he's good. He's an X's and O's guy. I like the way they teach football. They develop talent. I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if he wins a national championship at Tennessee, but I think if he can have success in recruiting, they're going to be competing for SEC championships again. I truly believe that. I think, but that could mean he is if Tennessee's ever going to get back to a national championship, maybe he is a stepping stone. Dauber, what do you think? Stepping stone, or do you think Josh Heupel is the guy?
I want him to be the guy because, like you just said, if he leaves, we're continuing that cycle. The cycle that we touched on in the Fall of the Vols series prior to the season. I think that if he stays, he has the opportunity to put his imprint on this program, to be the one to rebuild, rather than, going to somewhere like Oklahoma, where he risks tarnishing his legacy as a player. We had a lot of those talks with T. Martin. Even though he coached here, he was never the head coach, was never a coordinator. Wow. It's hard for people to look at a person and totally split apart their playing days versus their coaching days if they're at the same place, because it all just kind of links together. Same thing with Philip Fulmer. You look at Philip Fulmer. A lot of people have bad taste in their mouth from him because of what happened and transpired as his athletic director role. And, it's hard to separate him being a player and a coach and then the athletic director when the wheels fell off with Pruitt. So I don't know. Going back to Heupel, I think
Come, I had to put it on there. Sorry. He uses two paddles.
I think that he wants to stay because I do think that he sees what he has done with what is at the University of Tennessee right now, facilities wise, top notch and getting better.
And he even said at the end of that quote that I played, he talked about almost like openly admitting, we did this way faster than I thought. We had way more success, way faster than I thought we were going to. And that's only going to continue to create momentum.
And that's the key word right there. That's where I was going. I think he sees the momentum that he's created and the trajectory that this team and university has right now. Everything that is positive for not just football. You look at basketball, you look at baseball, you look at golf, tennis. Just across the board. Danny White came in and said, wanted to rebuild the brand. It wasn't just about football, but it was the brand. And I think that's where it takes not just the kids buying into the coach, but it takes the coach buying into the ideology of the athletic director. And I think that relationship, and Indy Kid talked about it the other night, that relationship that Heupel and Danny White have, I think that just helps. And I think it's something that has a lot more meaning and weight than people kind of give it credit for.
Hold that thought. Don't let me forget talking about Danny White and the brand of Tennessee athletics as a whole. I want to come back to that. I want to hit this super chat though. Caleb Bray for 5. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Jordan Thomas and Caleb Webb, both crystal ball to Tennessee, along with a bunch of our 22 recruits getting absolutely huge boostings on 24/7 ranking. I can't remember who it was. I saw two guys bump to 4 stars. You guys remember who it was, or have you seen that? It just happened within the last couple of hours, but I can't remember.
Sampson and Caleb Webb got bumped to a 4-star. He was one of them. Caleb Herring is an 89, so that's borderline right at a 4. And Joseph got bumped up inside the 250.
That's the other one. Yeah, I saw that he got a bump too. You know, something that's interesting is, and I don't want to go too far in this because I'm going to lose my train of thought, but, you know, somebody was talking about rankings and recruiting and all that stuff this year. And you got to remember, man, a lot of these high school seniors that are in the class of 22 didn't play a season their junior year. They didn't camp. There's evaluations are tough right now, which is why if you as a coaching staff can evaluate talent, you have a huge advantage right now because of that. Ethan Cole, Vols by 50 for 2. Thank you for the super chat. What up, fellas? Go Vols. What's up, Ethan? Thanks for being here. Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. I'm going to come back to that thought. I promise I'm not going to forget. But I do want to say we got 307 people watching live. The 10,000 subscriber celebration and only 117 thumbs up. That's very disappointing. It honestly hurts my feelings. You know, I try to not get upset, but when you guys don't hit the thumbs up, it hurts my feelings. And I want to give away merchandise. I want to give away a bunch of free merchandise. I want everybody decked out in Talkin VAWLS merch for Christmas. And I don't know how much merch I'm going to give away, but I think what I'm going to do, if we get 150 thumbs up, there's a free t-shirt. If we get 300 thumbs up, there's a second free t-shirt. We get 450 thumbs up, there's a third free t-shirt. Now I'm in the negative when it comes to the money that we've made off of merchandise. Now we're taking money out of our pocket. If we get to 600 thumbs up, there's 4 t-shirts. See how many we can get before the end of the stream. Oh, it's already shot up 153. There's a t-shirt gone. Whatever it's on by the end of this live stream, that's what we're going to send out. 150 likes for 1 free t-shirt. So you guys might want to share it. You might want to create fake accounts. I don't know what you want to do, but the more likes we get, Indy Kid's going to hit thumbs down as we speak to try to save us a little money. I appreciate that, Indy Kid. Let me hit this super chat. Dustin Sellers for $20. That is not cheap. That's like 3 cups of coffee at Starbucks. We appreciate it. Dustin says stability is key. I think Heupel can get us competing for the East. However, doesn't it make you jealous of other SEC schools? Florida, LSU make quicker changes and not settling for losing records while we seem to wait and see. I'm never going to keep my train of thought, but that's a good question too. I don't know. Sometimes I think stability is more important. And I think these other schools, it's like, how long ago did Coach O win a national championship? And now he's already gone?
Yeah. Like 3 years ago.
And Kid, you're saying you don't really know that Brian Kelly's going to succeed there? So you fire a guy that won a national championship and now you're moving on to Brian Kelly?
I agree with Indy Kid. I don't think Kelly's a good fit. I do not think he fits the culture, and it similar to for me, Schiano at Tennessee. You know, a northerner in a southern college football town. It's polar opposites. ideology and culture, it doesn't fit. I mean, maybe winning cures all, and he comes in and they win games, and it doesn't matter. But you know, you've got Coach O, who is Cajun, won a national championship, should be a god at LSU, and they can him 2-3 years after winning a national championship. And the same thing with Les Miles. How many years after he won a national championship did they let him go?
Yep. Short fuse for 10. Thank you for the super chat. It says Biggie. I wish I had Notorious B.I.G.'s music. I've got come walking out like McGregor. I come out like McGregor. Boogie gives out free stuff. Love the Talkin VAWLS. It ain't me. Don't say Boogie, because we sell merchandise, and basically all the profits we always put it right back into giving away free merch. We just try to give back to you guys. We appreciate the support, and you guys, the super chats that come in, it's mind-blowing. We appreciate it. Wayne Starnes for 5 says this is for the free stuff. LOL. Thank you, Wayne, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Ethan Cole, Vols by 50 for 2. Watch for Tolan and Mba. I don't know how to say that name this week. All right. I didn't lose my train of thought. I'm focused. We're almost up to 200 likes. You guys are pushing for 2 free t-shirts. Share the link. Hit that share button. Get it on Twitter. Get it on Facebook. Grow the live chat. Get some thumbs up, and we'll give away all kinds of merchandise. Any kid, I kept my train of thought. I want to bring this back to you. We're talking about Danny White and it being more than football and a brand of UT athletics across the board. When's the last time that the big three had the coaches that we have in Josh Heupel and Rick Barnes and Tony Vitello? When's the last time Tennessee had that type of, I'll call it momentum in all 3 sports?
They haven't in a time we can all remember, because when Delmonico had baseball rolling, you had either Kevin O'Neill or Jerry Green in basketball. Jerry Green was okay. Kevin O'Neill could recruit, but he couldn't coach. But then you had Fulmer during that time. And then Fulmer's still going. When Bruce Pearl come in, that was when you had Fulmer was – when Bruce Pearl came in, I remember this because the Vandy game, 05, the night before, Bruce Pearl's first game was against ETSU of his era. So you had Fulmer. That era was not over, but you had Pearl, who had basketball going. But I think that's around the time you had Todd freaking Raleigh down there as the baseball coach, who did his best to bury that program. If you go back any further than that, I mean, my first recollection was with Johnny Majors, with Don DeVoe, and with Delmonico. So, and I was too young on it. So, as of in my lifetime, and just to go back with Heupel, just to kind of piggyback off your question earlier on it, I think the jury's out. And I saw Xavier Sanders put in the comments earlier. He said it's going to that 23 and 24 class. We're going to look at that. I totally agree. I think that's where we're going to determine what Heupel's kind of what his ceiling is at Tennessee, because if he's going to just be a 25 to top 20 recruiter, that's fine and good, but he's got to be top 10, because, and even a lot of times top 10 in the country can still leave you 10th in the SEC. So that recruiting's the question. But back to, I've kind of gone a lot of different ways, but still yet you've got Rick Barnes, you've got Tony Vitello, you got Heupel. It's got the potential to be the best, at least in my lifetime that I can remember.
And not to take away from that, I agree with you, but I think the big key right here is you've also got a united administration, and everybody's rowing in the same direction. You don't have somebody paddling backwards. There's everybody has the same mentality and the same ideology, and man, it's refreshing to see an administration that has the same goals and coaches that have bought into that, because it seems like, there is so much positivity right now, and things just keep getting. I mean, face it, for football, we were at the bottom looking up, so there was only one direction to go, but for the administration to be behind, for the athletic department to be behind, and providing these coaches with the things they need, moving forward with the improvements to facilities and things like that. That was a big thing with Vitello. That to retain a coach like that and make these promises and commit to the program. Right now, I saw some pictures today. What they're doing to Neyland. Yeah, we're going to lose some capacity, but they're making upgrades to the facilities. Who cares if it's not 100,000? Who cares?
That Ole Miss game was the first time they've sold out since what, 2017?
Yeah.
Fan experience,
so it's irrelevant.
Upgrades. People made fun of the lights when they put them in, and they mocked it. And then they show them run. Then they show them run through the tee. They show them run through the tee at night, and all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, okay." Danny White is doing great things down there, man.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, it's not just these. He's listened, not just to the boosters, not to the people with money, not to those type of. He's listened to the fans. That video you played at the intro about the VAWLS on the jumbotron.
Love that video.
That had nothing to do with any of those people. That's something that has been pushed for by the fans, and because it is something that is special. It makes Neyland Stadium. It's a part of so many of the good memories that we as a fan base have, and there's just something about it. And for him to see that, realize it, and then make it a priority, already put it into the plans and moving forward with it. It's that's what somebody that is, we've talked about his pedigree and his family history. He gets it, and that it's all about building the brand, and that has to do with the connection to the fans as well.
Preston Frills for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I think Heupel is taking the approach that Barnes took with basketball, get a 3-star playing like a 5-star, then the other 5-star players will come. That's coaching 101. Do more with less. Like Indy Kid, how many times throughout the baseball season did we talk about that with what Tony Vitello was doing? That team had something special, and I feel like we've talked a lot about this team in 2021 for the football team, how there's something about this team that you love. And it was the same way during baseball season with Vitello.
Yeah, it is. And it's buying in. It's playing for one another, which I think this team did. I don't think there was any dissension as the only, from Milton to Hooker, I don't feel there was any dissension. I don't feel like there was any divide like there may have been in the past. But, it's a similar philosophy, I think. But part of it, too, with Heupel this year, I think he's building they entered behind the 8 ball already. They were behind. There are the allegations. Teams are negative recruiting them bad, specifically South Carolina, Kentucky, I think Georgia. Those teams, when you start losing those recruiting battles to those schools regularly, South Carolina, Kentucky, something is up. But we'll see. I'm not putting a lot into this year because I think they're getting close to having a top 20 class, and they may even finish with top 20. It's going to be close, but then what they add through the portal is going to be big as well. But I don't think that's necessarily I think it's what they've got and who they've watched, who they've scouted, who they've gotten, who they've built those relationships with. We'll see what they're adding. I think they're going to add. I think it's going to be a nice finish down the stretch, and go from there. It's the biggest thing we'll look at from this recruiting class is going to be a loaded portal. Tennessee needs to. You don't go out and get projects out of the portal. You leave that to your high school class or JUCO. You need to go into the portal this time and get badasses who are ready to come in and make that
players.
difference. Yeah. Impact, and like you played the video, and come on, RLDs. You're not getting guys who need a couple of years to develop. You're getting guys who are coming in to make that impact.
And I've been pumping out a lot of transfer portal videos. And just so you know, Ethan Cole, I see your super chat. I want to come back. I want to make that into a talking point. So don't think that I missed you. I'm going to come back and get that. I've been pumping out a lot of transfer portal videos. Some people like them, some people don't. But every guy that I'm covering, I feel like Tennessee either has a shot or it would be a good fit. And, what you're talking about there, Indy Kid, bringing in guys that can make a difference immediately. And a guy like today, I covered Jaden Hasselwood, the wide receiver out of Oklahoma, and he was the number one wide receiver in the class of 2019. And I don't know why a guy like that, who Cody Burns recruited, Cody Burns and Auburn were in the top, I think the top three down the stretch. Tennessee was in the mix down the stretch. I just think a guy like that, when your position coach has a relationship with, I think that's a guy that should look and see what Javonte Payton did. Or Cedric Tillman. Cedric Tillman's the perfect example that Josh Heupel can sell every wide receiver, whether it's coming out of high school or whether it's a transfer portal guy. This is a dude that had 8 receptions coming into the year. And in one season, we're talking about him going into the NFL draft. But I agree with you. I think they need to go get some RLDs in this transfer portal. Another one that I'm going to continue to say you need to keep your eye on is the running back out of Georgia Tech, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Tennessee has a legitimate shot to go get Gibbs.
From what I've read on him too, they're after him. They want him, but apparently so does Alabama, so does Ohio State. So they're going up against the big boys on this one.
I think it comes down to playing time. Do you want to go to Alabama and win a national championship, play for a national championship? That's fine. Do you want to come here? Look at Tyon Evans. Do you want to come here? If Tyon Evans could have stayed healthy, he would have had a gigantic year stat-wise. Huge year. Couldn't stay healthy. I think they can sell Gibbs on playing time. I don't know. Well, like you said, you're going against the big dogs. You got your work cut out for you. But, man, I think we beat it to death, but it starts with Hendon Hooker, Cedric Tillman. You get those guys back. You add an impact wide receiver, an impact running back, and then you go fill your holes all across the board. But, Dauber, do you think the transfer portal, something that I thought about today, I don't remember who I saw. Somebody talked about it. It's not like this was just went through my weak, pathetic little brain. But when you talk about the transfer portal and going and getting some of these guys that we're talking about, going and getting some of these big-time players, the kid out of TCU, Zach Evans. That dude has the opportunity to be a stud. And when we talk about Gibbs, and Indy Kid says you're going against the big dogs, even the Hasselwood kid out of Oklahoma, these are some big-time players. When you start talking about the transfer portal, it's 2021. How much does the NIL deal need to be on the table? Because this is free agency in college football. How important do you think NIL is when it comes to transfer portal?
Big time. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't. It's all new. And it's all, you've got to figure in how well the man, I don't even know if the compliance department deals with the NIL stuff or what, if it's just a free for all, but I'm sure that they've got people that assist in these deals and that make sure everything is, the rules are followed. But, that's, You talk about prior to the season kicking off, there were stories about the quarterback in Alabama making 6 figures prior to taking a snap with NIL deals. So, Indy Kid, you make the point of going up against the big dogs. Yeah, you are. And with those schools, and the success they've had lately, there's a lot more meat on the bone at places like that for NIL deals. I saw talk about Evans. He had a deal with a heating and cooling company in Knoxville, talking about heat pumps, and tweeted out the owner's contact information. I mean, that's stuff like that isn't necessarily going to cut it for some of these guys, because the money is the lure. But at the same time, is that the type of kid you want? Because those are the type of kids that are going to be all about the name on the back of the jersey, rather than the team that you're playing for.
It's like the Walter Nolans. I'm almost to the point now, I don't even care if he commits to Tennessee. That kid is all about himself. If he goes to Texas A&M, I'd almost lay money that he doesn't finish his career there. He'll transfer and he'll end up somewhere else. Let me get caught up on these super chats because one of them's been waiting for a while. But Carl Borchers, sorry if I butchered that name, for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Says, when you make these great transfer portal videos, can you tweet a link to the player featured so they know that the Tennessee fan base is interested? I've always kind of come from the mindset of I don't tag players. Unless it's, I don't know, maybe if it's overly positive, but even still, I just try not to tag players. If other people do, that's fine. That's just not really my thing. I don't know. That's just, whether I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, I just don't tag players. Let me go back up here. This one's been waiting for a while. Now I'm trying to scroll back up and find it here. Ethan Cole, Vols by 50 for $2. Thank you for the super chat. Not a big fan of Tay sitting out the bowl game. Did you guys see that? Alontae Taylor sitting out the bowl game. Apparently this just came out today.
Just tweeted.
Getting ready for the NFL draft. I'm not a fan of that, man. Not a fan at all of that.
Nope. It's a brotherhood. I've not been a fan of guys doing it up to this point. I get it, but it's one game, man. You put in all that work. You got a brotherhood. You're in that locker room. If I'm a teammate, and that's one of the guys who's been in it all along, I mean, obviously, if I'm one of the guys like a Turnage or somebody, hey, it's an opportunity for me, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's not just him. It's other players that do it as well. You're in it for the long haul. You are getting that education. Whatever, you're getting NIL now for it. No, I don't like it.
It's like you put so much value on a bowl game and getting to the postseason and how much it means, and then you get there and you bail out. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's do a little plugs. This is the 10,000 subscribers celebration. We're going to give away some free merchandise for those of you hanging out in the chat. We're going to tell you how. We'll tell you how you can win that free merchandise. We got 350 people watching live right now on YouTube. For every 150 likes, we are going to give away a free T-shirt of somebody's choice. Whoever wins, you're going to get a free T-shirt. But it's got to be by the time we go off air. So I'm going to see how many thumbs up we have when we go off air here in the next few minutes. And if we're at 300, we're giving away 2 T-shirts. If we're at 450, we're giving away 3 T-shirts. If we keep going past that, I'll probably have to get a calculator. But you guys better get those thumbs up going because we got 256 right now. So if we get it up to 300, we'll give away 2 free T-shirts. And this is, I want to show this off too. I showed you guys this today. The new TBA Jam for all you retro gamers, for all you Vol Hoops fans. This is the TBA Jam Talkin VAWLS edition merch. That's the new one that's up. But you guys, what I'll do, whoever the winners are, you just have to DM us, and you can pick whatever you want. If you want the TBA Jam, the new merch, that's cool. Or if you want the retro balls, whatever you want, we'll get it sent out to you. We got the hats, toboggans, all that good stuff. I'll just scroll through the merchandise. But like I said, for every 150 likes on this stream before we go off air, we'll send out a free T-shirt to somebody. Now, who's going to be entered to win? This might rub some people the wrong way, but it is what it is. As a way of saying thank you, any kid, you think we can make that happen?
Hey, why not, man?
You got one on right now, though. TBA Jam.
T-Jam right on the back of it. So.
T-Jam thongs. I got you. Here's what we're going to do. I hope it doesn't make people mad, but as a way of saying thank you to those that support this channel financially, we appreciate every single listener. But when you're willing to say, I'm going to become a member of the channel, here's 99 cents a month, or here's $2.99 a month, as a way of saying thank you for all the content that you guys put out, you are making a financial sacrifice to support this channel. Like I said earlier, 10,000 subscribers. If every one of you became a member for $1, that's less than a cup of coffee. $1 a month, we would be pulling in $10,000 a month, and the three of us would I don't know, maybe we would just shut down the channel and be sitting on a beach somewhere. I don't know. There's power in numbers. So what I'm going to do, we're going to pick out however many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many thumbs up we get, members of the channel. You got to be a member. So if you want to get in where you fit in, hit that join button down below right beside subscribe, as little as 99 cents a month. If you're a member, you're going to be entered. So that's step one. You got to be a member of the channel. Step two, you got to come back to the video after we go off air and leave a comment. And what I want you to do is put in the comments how you found Talkin VAWLS. Did you find it through a video? Did you find it through Facebook? Did you find it through a random search on YouTube? Just tell us how you became a fan of this show and what you like about it. Put it in the comments, and we will pick out a member of the channel and send out that free merch. Let me see if the shills got anywhere. We're up to 281 thumbs up.
Got a couple questions about how to become a member, though.
If you go right below the video, you see where it says subscribe. There is a join button. You can click that. You'll enter your information. You can get joined. If you have an Apple product, an iPhone, an iPad, something of that nature, for some reason you can't join the channel there. So what you have to do, you got to go to your internet browser, sign into YouTube, and the join button will magically appear. See, there's Whit Maddox becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate you hopping on board. So if you go to your browser on an iPhone or Apple product, you can join that way. And then once you go back into the app, it'll be available. Fallout Zone says, somebody smash that freaking like button and somebody join this channel so I can get some free stuff. So yeah, if you join, leave a comment, let us know how you found us, all that good stuff. We'll pick out 1, 2, 3, however many members we need. Let me go back and get caught up on super chats here as we wind down the show, trying to give you guys some time to get to 300 thumbs up. Got to find where I was at on super chats. There's Carl. Scroll on down here. Jonathan Rice for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Chris Boggle is in the portal. He would be a major get to be on the other side of Byron Young and include Barron. I saw that. Did he just go in today? I think I saw that today.
I'm not up to date on it today. I haven't seen any of the moves. I've seen Hazelwood and another receiver from Oklahoma. That's pretty much what I've seen so far.
Let me scroll down here. John Hill for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Vomit in mouth, roll tide. Still hate the dogs. I would never hear the end from the in-laws if the dogs won. I
agree.
I hope Alabama beats the brakes off of Georgia. I freaking hate Georgia.
Gonna have to beat them twice. I think Georgia's in the playoff, win or lose.
Papa T and SC, thank you for the super chat. It says, family, I'm telling you now, the culture Coach Hype has created will draw in special type players and a top 15 in 2022. Book it. Be 9-3 or 10-2.
I'll go with it.
Man, if they those last spots, because they can apparently go up to about 32. You don't need guys in that portal that it's going to take a couple years to develop. It needs to be guys who are in that starting lineup or playing heavy minutes next year. That's going to be big for them. There could be some game-changing guys next year.
Face it, if you get, I don't know, 3 to 4 guys that give you the impact like Javonta Payton did, that can come in and make plays for this team. If you get guys that you can plug in the spots where you need help, your offensive line, your defensive line, secondary linebacker, I still think, and you guys, I'm pretty sure agree. I think you got to look at quarterback, especially if the right guy is out there.
Did you guys happen to do you ever look at the Pro Football Focus grades for each game?
I was going to do a video on that. They released the grades for the full year. I'm going to kind of break that down tomorrow. But
I just thought it was interesting after the Vandy game how the offensive tackle Crawford, he graded out right at a 90 for the game. And we haven't seen much of him.
He's also grading out pretty high. Again, spoiler alert for the video I'm going to put out tomorrow for the year. He's graded out pretty high for the year. And like you said, he's not played a whole lot, but I think I saw he played over 100 and some snaps. I'm going completely off the top of my head from looking at it earlier. That's encouraging for next year.
Yeah.
Plus you got Carvin returning next year for super senior year. So
there's some potential, man. I mean, especially if you get Hooker and you get Tillman back, there's some big time potential on this roster next year. And then, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they're just shy of 20 recruits. I don't think they'll go to 25 on actual recruits. So I'm going to say they're going to have anywhere around 8, 9, 10 guys they can add through the portal. Man, if you add all impact guys, this team's rolling next year. I think Georgia's going to be hard to catch for a bit. They're loaded. They are loaded right now. It's going to take a lot to catch them. But I really think at this point in time, Tennessee's the second best team in the East. I had on Twitter some Kentucky people that was saying second best team in the East. And I was like, no. And they tried to tweet me the standings. They said, what's the standings say? I said, what did the scoreboard say? Tennessee's better than Kentucky. They're beating them out of 10 times at least 80% of the time. And I just think they're just that better. And I think Tennessee at this point in time is the second best team in the East. And then you add those impact guys, you gain on Georgia. And, any amount of talent Tennessee adds, they're gaining on Georgia because Georgia's not pulling away.
Closing that gap.
Class. They're closing the gap with any talent they add.
The portal is giving Tennessee an opportunity to speed up this process. But the question is, how much is it changing college football overall? Because you're still going to have to hit that portal every single year. Every year you're going to have to face guys leaving, guys coming in. And when you talk about a team like Georgia that has so much more talent, how do they keep everybody happy? How do they keep all those 5 stars happy? If you got all this talent at wide receiver and you're sitting there watching what Cedric Tillman's doing at Tennessee, when do you go, well, I could go there and I could start. I could immediate playing time. If Josh Heupel works out the way we all want and he continues to build this program, how do you hang on to guys? And that's coming full circle back to what I asked you earlier, Dauber. How much is NIL going to play into that? You gotta have something for these kids to keep them around. And I wonder if the Alabamas and the Georgias have that.
But that's a good problem to have.
Oh yeah. It's just like people coming after your coaches. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And you think of it too. You mentioned about Cedric Tillman. What happens if Cedric Tillman does decide to make that jump to the NFL after this year? I don't know what his stock is right now, if it's high enough. It has to go up based on what he's done. But if for some reason he leaves and all these wide receivers leaving, you see what Tillman did last year. You see what Velus Jones did. You see what Javonte Payton did. And you're looking at all these teams and you're saying, man, where can I go make an impact? There it is. And, but like I said, NIL's big. I mean, you got Pilot. Pilot's tried to control many coaching searches. So at what point, and obviously it's not my money to spend, but at what point can Pilot help make that difference in NIL? I mean, if you've negatively influenced coaching searches, make a positive with recruiting.
Yeah. Terry Reed, a member of the channel, throws out a excellent point right here. Can you find that?
I don't know which one it is.
Amen.
About the portal.
Yes.
This right here, guys that buy in and are about the team, that's the guys you want to recruit. That's what makes a difference. That's what takes your 3 and 4-star fringe guys and elevates them, along with the coaching and that culture and all the stuff that Heupel and staff got kind of ridiculed and made fun of leading into the season about the leadership and all of that they were trying to instill and put into this team to build that culture. And I think you see the dividends and the payoff from that stuff that they did preseason with how this team honestly played better than and exceeded expectations from a lot of people.
That's why I think you got to be selective in the portal. And it goes back to talking about Zach Evans. Obviously, the dude's a stud on the field. You go back and look at his recruitment and the end of his high school career, you question. You always want to ask, why are these guys in the portal? What's going on? If there's a coaching change, I get it. Like, I don't even really question that. If it's about playing time, like Harrison Bailey, I don't question why he entered the portal. But there are some players that you do have to question that. Robert Tyndale, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. You've now got access to those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. We're getting ready to wind this show down. Just one last reminder. We've got over 300 likes, up to 312 thumbs up. All you got to do, guys, is offer free merchandise, and they'll hit that thumbs up. That's all you got to do. Give stuff away, they hit thumbs up. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys showing up. We appreciate you guys helping us get to 10,000 subscribers. You guys make this show a lot of fun. Just one quick reminder, if you're a member of the channel, make sure you come back after we go off air, leave a comment, tell us how you found Talkin VAWLS, what you like about the show, and we will pick 2 of you. 2 members of the channel are going to win a free t-shirt. We'll announce it on next Wednesday's show. We'll be live. We're going to keep going live every Wednesday at 7 up until the bowl game. Preston Frills for another 5. Thank you for the super chat. Having 2 out of our top 3 wide receivers leaving next year is going to be huge for guys like Jalen Hyatt and Jimmy Callaway. You got to hope they step up. It's a huge opportunity for guys like that. You got to hope they step up and fill those shoes, and those are big shoes to fill.
Yep, they are. I mean, you got of course, you saw Ramel Keaton coming on at the end of the year, started making a little bit of plays. You got Jimmy Holiday, you got Walker Merrill. Got guys coming in through your signing class. I think they add through the portal. I think there's no doubt about it, especially if Tillman were to leave. I think Tillman will be back. But, I mean, you never know. If his stock shoots up way high, can't blame him for going, especially based on the competition he's done it against. But, they're on the right track at receiver. I think they'll add somebody as well. And, I see people saying about Nolan, man, you got to think of it. No, if you grow up and you don't have a favorite school and you're going through that process, you're getting wined and dined. I don't know, man. I kind of differ on that. Enjoy the process, even if it's saying this and that. The only thing, my big beef with these guys is if you're still going to go through the process, do not commit to a school. When you're totally finished visiting, you're totally done and going to shut it down, then commit. Don't do it before you're finished visiting other schools. That's what I hate about it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being wined and dined, but like you said, like Walter Nolan, if I get X number of Instagram followers, I'm going to make my commitment today, and then it happens, and then he doesn't, and then it's when he committed at Texas A&M, like it didn't even faze me. It's like, okay, whatever, man. Like how many times has that guy changed his top 10, his top 5, his top 3? He changes it just for no reason.
Supposed to be in Knoxville this weekend, supposedly.
Yeah. Rodney Garner, man, I'm excited to see what he does with that defensive line. With Walter Nolan coming to town, Tyree West building a lot of momentum. I think he visited FSU. No commitment there yet. VAWLS have a chance to get him on campus, and then the I don't know how to say the name, Mba, whatever it is, the number 1 JUCO defensive lineman. Dude, if he gets those 3 guys, that defensive line is full of some studs going into next year, including BY, including DeJoun Terry, man, that's a guy that came on late in the year. I think he's going to be good.
Maury Thomas, look at him, man. I mean, I don't know if they'll need to add defensive line help through the portal. Maybe add a guy, but I don't think they need to go crazy on it.
Not as much as other positions, especially if they get those three guys, or two of the three even. Two of the three.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they need to go about 2 to 3 offensive linemen. I still think you need receiver. Mentioned it earlier, Dauber, quarterback. You know, there's a certain Oklahoma quarterback that's at the portal. If he's interested, I'm looking at him.
Dude, I'm not against it. Some people are dead set against it. I'm kind of.
You don't turn that kind of talent away.
Talent.
And again, how many people that's saying his bad attitude would be happy if they got benched? I mean,
that's a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, Boogie. How many times have I been happy?
I've seen you pick up your glove and leave the softball field for getting benched. So, I know the competitive spirit you have. Nobody wants to sit on the bench. If you're a competitor, you want to play. That's all there is to it. You don't just want to play; you want the ball in your hands. That's what winners do.
And that, my friends, is why the transfer portal is going to change college football.
Yep, 100%, 100%.
I mean, I think they need to hit the secondary. I think they need a couple alpha guys in that secondary, and I still think I'm curious to see how much Jeremy Banks and Aaron Beasley and even Page improve. They improved a lot from last year to this year. They're flawed, but how much can they improve with another year? I think I add, though, at linebacker.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I feel totally – again, I feel if I'm Jean-Marie, if I'm Tim Banks and these guys, I feel I can improve these guys more. They can make that jump again. But, you know, maybe there's a big-time linebacker out there. Maybe we can get the Talkin VAWLS thong campaign going, and they can play with that shirt maybe halfway up and that thong sticking out from under the pads.
Now you're talking.
Now we got it. So
what happens with Juwan Mitchell? Does he come back?
Talkin VAWLS NIL deal.
Talking on that.
Free thongs. What else?
Is that like the free cookies? We're going to give away free thongs for sacks.
Yeah, there you go.
Thongs for TFL.
Well, last night we had it was kind of ironic and funny. We were talking about the Presbyterian Blue Hose, and then we had a few of the scam porn ads start popping up at the end. It was like, well, how perfect.
Did y'all even get them blocked, or were you like, what? How do we even stop this?
No, it's right at the end, so we just laughed about it, made a joke out of it, and then ended it. So,
well, speaking of end things, we keep trying to end this stream, but when you guys keep throwing super chats at us, we keep getting talking points, and we just keep on rolling all through the night. Evan counts for $10. We appreciate that super chat. Since OU and Texas come to the SEC, I hope the realignment goes SEC north, south, east, and west. Is that possible? If so, we'd win our division every year in the north. Be interesting to see what they do. They've talked about, what are they calling them? Pods.
Yeah.
4 different pods. I don't know if they would really go by north, south, east, and west. I don't know if that would be the case, but I wonder if that does put an end to the Tennessee-Alabama rivalry, which I don't want to see happen. I know some people are split on that. I don't want to see it end.
What I've seen is a pod and then one carryover traditional rivalry game. So
I've seen a pod with Alabama and Tennessee in too.
Yeah.
With, I think, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Auburn, which would be an interesting pod.
Adam Cook for $5. Thank you for the super chat. There are some NIL deals no one will take. I guess he's not a fan of the thongs for TFLs.
Heck, that's a great one.
You saying you would take one?
Well, if it had that T-Jam on it, sure.
Maybe we should wrap this show up. Maybe we should. Fallout Zone's even confused. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. That's a lot of money.
That's what happens when we go past the hour. The train gets off the track. The
We
train
get into
wreck
it.
of 76 kicks in.
It's kind of fun though. It's kind of fun, man. It's been a fun stream, just hanging out, talking a little college ball, NIL, transfer portal, coaching carousel. Been a fun show. But I think we are going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you guys. I can't say enough how much you guys mean to us. Like, we talk off air all the time. How insane it is that people talking about us being something special, and it's like we're three normal dudes that just, we're friends from different walks of life. I mean, me and Indy Kid work together. Me and Dauber have known each other since we were tiny. Just real friends in real life. And we come on YouTube and act like we would act if we were sitting on my back deck or sitting in my living room hanging out. Like, you guys get what you get. We're just regular dudes, and it's crazy. It's humbling. It's amazing, the ride that we're on. Onward and upward. What are we going for next year, Indy Kid? 25,000 subscribers by the end of next year, or bust. That's the goal.
25, is that it? So Nealon's going to be at about 90. I say we go to match Nealon.
90,000 or bust by the end. 90,000 loser leaves town. 90,000 subscribers by the end of next season, or we quit Talkin VAWLS YouTube forever.
Yeah, well, it's been fun, boys. So
it's been a heck of a ride. All right.
Just a good question here before we get off. Anybody seen anything here? Any news on Bowl? I think they're looking more Music City.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but
we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated. Ton of content coming your way throughout the week. Nate Turner throws a $2 super chat. Says huge thank you to you guys for this amazing ride. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys again for hanging out. Again, one last plug. Join the channel right below, right beside subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us how you found Talkin VAWLS, what you like about the show. We'll pick 2 lucky winners, and we'll announce those next Wednesday at 7, and we'll send you out some free T-shirts. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. He's the Indy Kid. He's Dauber. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The dogs howl like me. Poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated